everybody! It is almost the top of the hour, and I am, can you see? I'm by the ocean in Estonia, and today is day 2 of the Dancing with Consciousness class. It's June 2nd, and I'm really excited to do this Facebook Live because we get to have all sorts of movement as I go running around, which I can't do just if I'm doing a Zoom with you all. So today's investigation is one of my favorite things, and it's posture. So posture can say so much, and you can play with it. You can stand in any different way that you would like and notice what the sensation of that is in the body, and then also how people around you respond to your posture. And this is one of the joys that I have in being with my body that I would like to invite you all to. So, all of the opinions, all of the thoughts, feelings, emotions, sex, no thoughts, no feelings, and no emotions that you have about your posture, would you destroy and uncreate all of that? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds, and everything that comes up about the way that you stand, what you stand for, what you will take a stand for, and everything that means to you, would you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. What if you could play around with just the way that you're standing anytime? Are there ways that you're standing that are associated with a point of view that you have about yourself or that somebody else has had about you? And everything that is, would you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. Is there a way that you're used to standing because of like your purse or your backpack or anything else that brings up? What if you could just simply notice what your body tells you as you're standing and shift anything and see what that's like? So one thing that I like to do, or that I've done a lot of in different dance classes, is you just stand there for a moment and you notice what that feels like in the body. If you're standing on both feet and not having your weight on one hip more than the other, but if you, for a moment, let yourself have your weight on both feet, where do you notice it in your feet? Is it more on the left heel, more on the right heel? And everything that brings up, would you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. Many years ago, I used to ask my body how it would like to walk. My sense was that my body probably knew the easiest way to walk, and that my opinion about walking could shift the possibilities for walking for me. So everything that brings up for you, would you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. And so then again with standing, if you allow yourself to just stand for a moment, what have you decided about standing? You don't like to stand, standing is painful, standing is no fun, standing is fun. Everything that brings up, let yourself just notice what something as simple as standing means to you, and then anything that comes up, would you ask some more questions about that? Who does that belong to? What else is possible? So if you get to one point of view about standing, gosh, I can't wait to get off my feet. Standing is so uncomfortable. Any point of view that you have, ask yourself, who does that belong to? And then also, I like to ask myself, am I holding on to any other points of view from that same source? And everything that brings up, can you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So everywhere that you have bought that that standing or sitting or being in your body, that there's only one way to be with it, or there's a right way to be with it or a wrong way to be with it, would you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So, back to this exploration of standing. Allow yourself to just shift your weight like the tiniest bit from one foot to the other, and just notice what that's like. And ask your body, as you're shifting your weight from one foot to the other, what it likes. Would it like to stand a little bit more on one foot than the other? And some of the ways that you can notice what your body likes is that it may feel good. It may be pleasurable. Would you be willing to allow even the way that you stand to be pleasurable for you? So that you can start to sneak a little bit of pleasure into even the simplest things that you do in every day, the things that could be totally taken for granted. And everything that brings up and lets down, would you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So, just standing, obviously swaying, or what if I was totally standing still and this was just what my background was doing? How funny would that be? Letting yourself play around with moving however you would like as you stand, even like the tiniest thing. This I would totally consider a dance. This is a very simple dance, but it is a dance. Everything that this brings up and lets down, and all of the opinions that you have about dancing and standing, would you destroy and uncreate all of that? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So, what else is possible for you with standing? What else is possible for you with your posture, with sitting, with walking? What if you could allow yourself just to ask questions from now through the end of the month about even the most basic things that you do, so that you can allow yourself to have fun even as you reach for a bar of soap, or you can, stretch even as you're like pulling the curtain closed. The simplest things. What if the simplest things, the simplest actions in your life could actually be an exuberant, joyful expression of having a body? And everything that does not allow you to have fun sitting, would you destroy and uncreate all of that? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Now, let's see. It looks like somebody else is asking questions about this. I noticed that people are not yet here, so let's see what that is. It's funny, as I was talking to Satu earlier about about doing the Facebook Live and about doing the Zoom and stuff like that, and like, what's the difference, and why would I like to do a Facebook Live? And I'm interested in exploring everything. What does each choice create? Do different choices, awesome, I'm glad that you're here now. Do different choices, what are those like for the body? So as I started this, I was running back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it's interesting because I do like to move so much that sometimes when I start to facilitate, I'm used to sitting in one place. Like I have equated being still with being professional or being serious, and that's good and right of me. So everything that is, can we destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And even more, Satu and I were talking about little kids, how like when you're playing with little kids, you get these excuses to like crawl around on the floor or look in places that you're not supposed to look. But like we don't necessarily give each other permission to hang off of a tree if you're like at a business retreat or something, or if I'm facilitating, I'm not usually like laying on the floor and rolling around everywhere. I have to sit very still, and maybe I get to cross my legs, or maybe I get to, gesture with my hands in a certain way, but I can't just wiggle around the whole time. What is that? Who says? And are you agreeing with that and creating that as the only possibilities of movement for you, even when you're alone? What if when you're in your house by yourself, you would just like to jump and flop on your bed? Would that be fun for you? If it would be fun for you and you have a body and you have a bed, what's holding you back? Everything that does not allow you to have fun with every part of the movement of your day, would you destroy and uncreate all of that? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And everywhere that you're aware of other people's opinions about the difficulty of movement, the burden of movement, the burden of life that you are taking out of them and holding in your body, would you destroy and uncreate all of that and return all of that to sender with consciousness attached? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. If other people are so unhappy about having a body that they don't even want to see you move your body, that's okay. They can be unhappy. Would you be willing to choose for you and for your body no matter what? Would you be so bold to let other people have different opinions about you? And everything that brings up and lets down, would you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So, your adventure, your invitation to adventure with your body today is, and for this whole month, and please let me know what comes up for you, is to really start to just notice the movements that you're doing, the simple movements that you're doing. What if you could do them differently? So if you're brushing your teeth, are your shoulders all squinched up? Could you just relax them? Is it fun to have your shoulders squinched up? Nothing's right or wrong. It's just a choice. And what choices would you like to make? And what would you like to experiment with? And everything that brings up and lets down, would you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So, everybody, for today, this is the invitation. And I could go on and on and on, but this is for you to explore. So if you would like to, you are invited to right now begin. And you don't have to stand up, but you can stand up. Whatever it is that you're doing, whether you're sitting, standing, lying down, walking, going to the bathroom, getting up to make some food, whatever, would you let yourself play around with how you're doing it? Do it in slightly different ways than you usually do. Ask yourself what else is possible, and just play. And go ahead and let me know anything that this brings up. You may hear some different points of view. Your body might let you know different things via sensation. There might be different emotions that come up. Would you be willing to be really spacious with all of that and not judge it just for a little bit? You can start judging again tomorrow if you really need to. But until then, let yourself experiment with the curiosity of a child. What it is for you to have a body and what it is that you enjoy. And invite yourself to play around with the different possibilities of the different qualities for the simplest actions. All right? That's it for today, everybody. Thank you so much. I will be posting this video soon, and I will send you the call for what it is that we will be doing tomorrow, if it's going to be Zoom or a video or another Facebook Live. And I'm so grateful to you all for being here today. All right, take care. Bye.